This 800-pound mass of dough is about to be transformed into 2,500 cheesesteak rolls, a small fraction of the nearly 250 million produced here every year.
These ovens are roughly 135 feet long by about 13 feet wide, and they are critical to keeping up to the volume that we are responsible for putting out each day.
Spanning the size of roughly 8 football fields, this 390,000 square foot facility is the latest evolution of the family-owned business that has spent more than a century perfecting the backbone of Philadelphia's most famous sandwich.
Philadelphia, we're very passionate about food, and cheesesteaks are right in the middle of that. If you don't have a good roll, you don't have a good sandwich.
To be part of the Philly cheesesteak food scene, I mean, we play the leading role. No pun intended.
But how does one company maintain consistency and quality day after day at this kind of scale?
How you doing, brother? Good? It's good to see you. Hey, guys.
For fifth-generation owner and operator Jesse Amoroso, that responsibility means overseeing a bakery that never sleeps. Inside the facility, everything from classic cheesesteak and hoagie rolls to Kaiser rounds, sliced breads, and specialty products moves through one of 8 production lines every hour of every day.
We've got roughly 800 pounds of dough about to be released from the mixer. There are 4 to 5 mixes per line per hour, focusing on roughly a 15 or so minute mix, give or take, the product and which line we're producing on. So right now he's pre-scaling some of the ice that's going to go in to help control the temperature of the dough, as well as we've got some soybean oil and some other things. He's depositing them into the mixer bowl and then use the instrument panel to call for our bulk system flour and water. In our mixing operation and throughout the facility, we're probably utilizing around 12,000 gallons of water a day.
Each week, 4 to 7 rail cars arrive outside the facility, carrying roughly 200,000 pounds each of hard red spring wheat flour. When needed, the flour travels through a stainless steel piping system into the bakery's flour room, where it's sifted before being pumped into the mixing stations and combined with water to begin the dough-making process.
The consistency the mixer operator is looking for here ultimately is to make sure there's enough elasticity, but the dough has not been overdeveloped. If there's not enough elasticity, we're going to have issues being able to get the dough to stretch. If the dough has been over-mixed, what can happen is we can break down the gluten structure, making it very hard to arrive at the desired product that we're looking for.
The dough is then transferred into a trough, where a mechanical lift raises and dumps it into a giant hopper. From there, it's fed into a divider, which begins rounding and shaping each piece to the exact size and form needed for that specific production line.
What we see is the dough balls being sheeted out into essentially a pancake, and then we're taking that and through a process on this production line, rolling that back up, which is frankly why they're referred to as rolls.
Staff members diligently check each piece to ensure only the best make it to the next phase of production.
Whether they were too long or too short, they didn't have the right shape or orientation, or any other reason that they didn't pass quality control, this is where they end up. And ultimately, we work with customers who take those and repurpose them either for animal feed or breadcrumbs. Because it's a hearth product, because they're not being forced out of a mold or a depositor, each one is a little bit unique in size and shape, and so that creates an extra challenge in keeping the uniformity in the process.
After quality control, the rolls are automatically loaded onto racks and moved into cold fermentation, where the dough rests in a controlled environment, slowing fermentation to preserve shape, develop structure, build flavor, and allow product to be staged for precise baking windows.
So now we have one of our racks being manually operated and moved into the retarder box. This just came off of one of our production lines and will reside in here for several hours before being introduced to the proofing process. From a quality perspective, we're slowing down the oxidation process, and that really contributes to helping develop a lot of that old world Italian hearth-baked flavor that is really synonymous with Amoroso's and our characteristics.
After several hours, the dough moves into proofing, where carefully controlled heat and humidity activates the dough, building volume and texture.
Enter at your own risk. It's muggy in there.
Amoroso's was started by my great-great-grandfather in 1904, so technically we are 122 years old.
What began as a small family bakery in Camden, New Jersey, soon crossed the river into Philadelphia, where generations of the Amoroso family built a reputation for bread that would quietly become the backbone of the city's sandwich culture.
I might be biased, but I would say that most people, if you asked, would tell you they've had a cheesesteak on an Amoroso's roll. Over the years, we have served some of the most notable sandwich shops in the area and continue to do so today. It's been a wonderful opportunity through our partnership with the Philadelphia Eagles. We service the field where the Eagles play at Lincoln Financial Field. For a typical Philadelphia Eagles home game, we'll see an order of anywhere between 1,200 to 2,000 dozen rolls ordered. We've got a great network of frozen customers around the country in all 50 states and beyond that use our name and our logo and our brand as a stamp of authenticity of the Philadelphia sandwich.
Since moving into their newest state-of-the-art facility in Belmar, New Jersey in 2015, the company has continued to evolve and expand with over 650 employees, many of which have worked at Amoroso's for decades.
I walked in the company when I was 17 years old. Now I'm 52 years old, so it's been a long time working for the company, and I'm giving back what they've given to me as well.
Knowing Jesse since he was about 5 years old, and working with his dad and grandfather, and I'm just delighted and grateful to be part of that legacy.
Further down one of the production lines, the rolls that have finished proofing continue into the final stages.
We've got various people that are now prepping and pulling the racks from the proofer, making sure they're documenting them through the process as always, and at this point, placing them into our automatic rack unloaders. So the scoring process mainly is appearance, but equally important is it prevents the ability for the roll to burst or explode in the oven by placing a small score. It's allowing that spreading to occur without the steam bursting through the shell of the crust. And so this product right here is an 8-inch Italian roll, one of our most famous and well-known products. We make this in a retail format, in a food service format, and this is a very common item that we make every day of the year.
The rolls are then transferred from the boards onto a preloader belt, where they're fed into one of the largest ovens in any independent baking facility in the country, roughly 135 feet long by 13 feet wide and capable of baking between 2,000 to 4,000 rolls at a time.
The oven varies anywhere between 350 to 360 up to about 520 degrees. And this is here what I mean by hearth-baked rolls. The rolls are definitely being colored here and baked, but through the hearth baking process, there is not a direct fire under them. Rather, we're forcing a lot of heat throughout the oven, which is allowing us to get the characteristics and the structure of the product that you see here. Depending on the product, items are typically baked somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So here we've got an Italian roll. There's a few different things that we're looking for ultimately. One of which, obviously, from the appearance standpoint, is coloration, right? We want to make sure that it's a nice golden brown. It's not too pale, but it's also not too burnt and dark. When you open the roll, you've got a nice, beautifully developed and formed interior cell structure. It's not too airy, but it's not too dense. And the other thing that we're looking for is a nice development of that crust and that crumb to ensure that it's going to hold up to the Philadelphia style sandwich, namely a cheesesteak, but it's also not going to be too dense and overpowering.
After baking, the rolls are moved onto massive spiral cooling racks, where they can come down in temperature before packaging.
This is predominantly where we package and distribute our fresh hoagie rolls for the steak and hoagie shops in and around the city every day. The open elements and that ambient air is really what's nurturing and kind of maintaining that crust and that structure of the Philadelphia style sandwich. Believe it or not, many areas in the country don't allow loose products to be distributed for food service. So I believe that's a unique aspect of Philadelphia and our surrounding neighborhoods. To my left and your right, you'll see our retail packaging line where those same products will travel down a similar but different set of conveyor belts to be placed into plastic bags that will be distributed to retail supermarkets.
Supply chain manager Joe Sanford coordinates all of the logistical efforts, overseeing 100 trucks a day loading up and delivering products to shops, schools, entertainment venues, and retail locations across the country.
It's just the flux of the volume, right? So whether we're in the Super Bowl or it's around the Christmas time or the holidays, just the sheer flux of volume that comes through this bakery, sometimes a challenge to make all those rolls. However, we as a team, we get together, we come up with a plan. We're here 365 days for our customers. That's how we keep it fresh. So I'll be going into my 20th year this year. I always joke with Jesse, I'm the Irish contingent of the Italian family bakery.
We like to say that in our business, our reputation is based on our last delivery. If things have been going great for a long time and there's a hiccup, that's what our customers are going to remember most recently. To maintain that reputation, we have to focus on delivering a consistent product of the highest quality every day.
I'm going to do about 35 deliveries today. These go on the shelf at a supermarket or whatever. The other ones go for hoagies, cheesesteaks, stuff like that. Different size Kaiser, an Italian roll, and a dozen pack Italian roll. This will go to Restaurant Depot, they do bulk. This batch of rolls here is going to go to Dalessandro's. That's in Roxborough. My opinion, best cheesesteak in Philly. I've been delivering there for 34 years. They're going to get 2 stacks today. That'll be about 60, 65 dozen. I go there twice, once in the morning, once in the afternoon.
Dalessandro's is one of Philadelphia's most celebrated cheesesteak shops. Recently recognized by the Michelin Guide with a Bib Gourmand distinction, they rely only on high-quality products to build the city's most iconic sandwich.
So Dave from Amoroso gets here usually right before we open, so everything you're getting is always fresh and it's always coming in perfect and delicious. We wouldn't have the best sandwich in the city if we didn't have the best roll in the city. So Amoroso's has definitely contributed to our success. Looking good, looking good.
The perfect cheesesteak roll, the hinge has to hold up firm enough to withstand the contents of the Philadelphia sandwiches, but something that also offers a light, airy bite that won't overpower the sandwich.
So different styles of cheesesteaks. There's sliced steak and there's chop steak. And we have chop steak, and it really just comes down to preference. Chop steak is my favorite. The cheese melts straight into the meat. It's not kind of just on top. It really gets incorporated into the sandwich better. And then just mixed with that Amoroso roll, it becomes just the most delicious sandwich. My favorite way to have a cheesesteak changes all the time. I go through phases. I do all kinds. Right now, I really am enjoying American cheese with ketchup, mayonnaise, and crushed hot peppers.
When I walk through the facility, I feel a sense of pride because of the team that we have working here. Whether it's operating a machine, whether it's looking at and inspecting dough quality, or whether it's someone who's transporting product in packaging or shipping. What gives me a sense of pride is the fact that everyone is working on generating the characteristics and the reputation for which our products are known.
Verizon fuels soccer culture and community impact year-round, uniting fans, supporting local businesses, and creating unforgettable moments that celebrate the global game.